Mike works 70 hours a week, and he left $300,000 on the table last year. He's got no idea. Neither does Jennifer. If you're a business owner working harder than ever, but not getting ahead, this is for you. Here's what's crazy. Mike runs a restoration company in Ohio. Jennifer owns a physical therapy clinic in Michigan. Totally different businesses, but when I interviewed them, same age, same years in business, same revenue, same number of employees, same hours worked, same family pressure, same money stress, and exact same problem. They're amazing at what they do, but nobody has taught them how to run a business, and it's costing them both enough money to pay cash for a house every single year. Let me show you how. I'm Ryan Hurst, a profit advisor, and I've interviewed over 100 business owners for my book, and I keep seeing the same pattern. People who are incredible at their craft. They start a business because they want the freedom, and then they end up more trapped than when they worked for somebody else, working more hours, making less money per hour, and missing their kids' games. And they can't figure out why. Here's the truth. It's not because they're not smart, and it's not because they're not working hard enough. It's because they can't see what's broken. You can't read the label from inside the jar. Today I'm going to show you what Mike and Jennifer couldn't see, and how to know if you're doing the same thing. Let's go. Meet Mike, 44 years old, married to Lisa, 3 kids. Started his restoration company 7 years ago. Water damage, fire damage, mold. He's really good at what he does. Customers love him. His business grew from $900,000 to $1.1 million. That sounds like success, right? But here's what Mike doesn't tell people. He's making less money now than he did 3 years ago, even though his revenue is up. 3 weeks ago, he missed his daughter's dance recital. An emergency job came in, and he had to supervise the crew. She cried. His wife, Lisa, hasn't talked to him about it yet, but he can feel it. Last year, Mike quietly cut his own paycheck by $10,000 because he needed the cash to start flowing. Lisa doesn't know. Right now, Mike has $18,000 in the bank. That sounds okay until you realize he should have $180,000. That's 3 months of his expenses. That's the buffer that lets you sleep at night. And that tax bill that's coming in April is $42,000. Mike's lying awake at midnight, staring at a spreadsheet. His revenue's up, but his profit is down. He can't figure out why. Does that sound familiar? Now meet Jennifer, 43 years old, physical therapist, 9 years in her practice. She has 2 other therapists working for her, 6 employees total, $850,000 a year. Also, really good at what she does. Her patients love her, but here's Jennifer's day. She treats 28 patients yesterday. Her hands hurt, her back hurts. Ironic, right? She's a physical therapist and her body is breaking down. Then she comes home to staff drama. One of her therapists called in sick again, 3rd time this month. An insurance company just denied another claim. $800 she won't get paid for. Work that she already did. Last month, she cried in her car because she missed her daughter Olivia's swim meet, the one Olivia trained for all year. Her husband David said something that hit hard. We can sell the practice. You can go work for somebody else. At least you had evenings and weekends then. Think about that. Jennifer works 55 to 60 hours a week, makes $125,000 a year. If she worked for someone else as a therapist, she'd make $90,000 to $100,000 working 35 hours a week. So she's making $25,000 more for working 20 to 25 hours more per week. Is it worth it? Jennifer doesn't know anymore. Are you Mike? Are you Jennifer? Keep watching. Here's what I discovered. Mike and Jennifer are the same person, just wearing different uniforms. They're both skilled technicians who became business owners, amazing at their craft, but terrible at the business side. Not because they're dumb, but because nobody taught them. Mike spent 17 years learning restoration, but 0 years learning pricing systems, financial management. Jennifer went to PT school, but nobody taught her how to run a business. And now they're both bleeding money in 3 places. The first leak is they're charging too little. Mike thought he was charging $150 an hour. That sounds good, right? But here's what he didn't see. The drive time between jobs. That's not billable. Equipment maintenance comes out of that $150. Time management projects. Time doing estimates. Time dealing with the insurance. He's not charging for any of that. When we actually calculated his true cost, he's working $18 an hour for every $150 he charges. $18 an hour he could be making more at Costco. And Jennifer's doing the same thing, charging $95 per visit. But she's afraid to raise prices. Patients seem price sensitive. The translation? She's afraid to charge what she's worth. She's working twice as hard to make the same money. Just this one thing, that's leaving $100,000 to $150,000 on the table every year. All because you can charge less, that doesn't mean you should. The second leak is that customers disappear. Mike gets 30 to 40 calls every month for people who need help. He converts about half, the other half gone. Why? In restoration, speed is everything. If you don't call back within the hour, they're going to call somebody else. But Mike's in the field, on the job sites, supervising crews. And by the time he calls them back, it's too late. There's no system to follow up. And this customer that he does help, once the job's done, the customer's happy, but then nothing. No follow-up, no asking for reviews, not staying in touch. They forget about him. His referral rate is 12%, but it should be 40%. Jennifer's got the same problem. She treats people for their shoulder pain, their back pain, whatever. They get better and then disappear. No care plan, no follow-up system, no reason to come back. Her retention rate's about 68%. Should be 85 plus. This is another $100,000 to $125,000 just walking out the door. The third leak is their team isn't producing. Mike's technicians are only productive about 60% of the time. Should be closer to 75 or 80%. What's the other 40%? It's driving around, waiting for parts, redoing bad work. Why? Because there's no training system, no quality control, poor scheduling. Mike ends up redoing work himself because it's faster than teaching them. Jennifer's other two therapists, they're seeing 12 to 15 patients a day. She sees 28. Why is the difference? Because there's no accountability, no systems, no expectations. So Jennifer works herself to death while her team coasts. Another $70,000 to $95,000 just vanishing. And here's the worst part. Neither Mike nor Jennifer knows which service actually makes money. Mike doesn't know if water damage jobs are more profitable than mold jobs, and Jennifer doesn't know which types of patients are more profitable. They're both just guessing, flying blind. And this affects every other decision they make. Add it all up, Mike's leaving enough money on the table to send all 3 kids to college. Jennifer's leaving enough to pay cash for a house every single year. Same workload, just invisible. If you're thinking, is this me? Stick with me. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you exactly how to find your number. But first, you need to understand why you can't see this yourself. So why couldn't they see these leaks? You can't read the label from inside the jar. When you're in the business 70 hours a week, fighting fires every day, you can't really step back and see the patterns. They're experts at their craft, not at running a business. Here's the thing nobody talks about. Business school doesn't teach you this stuff either. They teach you theory, not how to actually fix a real business with real problems. Everything's in their head. No systems, no documentation. They can't delegate because only I know how to do it, right? This makes them the bottleneck. The business can't grow without them, and they can't step away. They're measuring the wrong thing. Both are focused on revenue growth. Revenue went up, that's great, but profit stayed flat. So they're just working harder to make the same money, and they got nobody to talk to. Their spouse doesn't get it. Their employees don't see the big picture. Their friends don't own a business. They feel completely alone. And when you're exhausted and overwhelmed, you can't think clearly. You just survive day to day. And this is why nothing changes. So what happened when Mike and Jennifer finally got help? Within 18 months, Mike's business hit $1.6 million in revenue. But here's what really changed. His profit margin went from 11% to 25%. He's now making over $400,000 in profit, and he pays himself $180,000 instead of $115,000. He has $180,000 in the bank in a cushion, and that tax bill, it's not scary anymore. He works 40 to 50 hours a week, not 70. But here's the moment that mattered the most. Last Saturday, Mike sat in the audience at Sophia's dance performance. Phone off, no emergency calls, just there. She looked at him in the crowd and smiled. After the show, she ran up to him. "Daddy, you came!" And Mike told me later that moment was worth more than $180,000. Lisa told him that night that I have my husband back. Within 18 months, Jennifer's practice hit $1.2 million in revenue. Profit margin went from 14% to 34%, and she's now making over $400,000 in profit. She pays herself $200,000 instead of $125,000. But here's what really changed. She's working 4 days a week now, not 6. She hired a practice manager. Operations are off of her plate, and she's treating 20 patients a week and not 28. Her body doesn't hurt anymore. Last month, she took her family on a 3-week vacation. First time in 9 years. When they got back, her daughter Olivia said something, "Mom, you're fun again." David told me, "I have my wife back. She laughs now, and she's present." Mike told me, if I had known about this 3 years ago, I would have close to $1 million more in the bank right now, and I wouldn't have missed Sophia's recital. I can't afford not to do this. Jennifer told me I've been working at 150% to make $125,000. I could work at 60% and make $200,000. I can't get those years back with my kids, but I can change the next 10 years. All because you can work 70 hours a week, that doesn't mean you should. Here's what most people don't understand. You didn't start a business to be a slave to it. You started it because you wanted freedom. Freedom to make your own decisions. Freedom to make more money. Freedom to spend time with your family. But somewhere along the way, you became the most expensive employee. You deserve better. You deserve to be a business owner, not just the best technician. You deserve to make money while you sleep, and you deserve to go on vacation without checking your phone every hour. You deserve to see your kids grow up. Your community needs you as a leader, not someone who's just barely surviving. When you're stressed, overwhelmed, exhausted, you can't show up as the person you're capable of being. Not for your customers, not for your employees, and not for your family. This isn't about getting rich. It's about getting your life back. Here's the hard truth. Every day you don't know about these profit leaks is another day of leaving money on the table. Mike left enough money to pay cash for a house every year for 3 years. That's close to $1 million in opportunity cost. Jennifer left enough to send all 3 kids to college every year for 3 years. Another close to $1 million. How much are you leaving on the table? How many recitals are you missing? How many swim meets? How many moments with your kids that you'll never get back? How long are you willing to wait to find out? If you're watching this and thinking, well, that's me. How much am I leaving on the table? Here's what I'd suggest. I'm interviewing business owners for the 2nd edition of my book. And during that interview, we'll go through your business. And I'll show you exactly where you're leaving money on the table. Your numbers, your opportunities, your roadmap. There's no charge for the interview. It's research for the book. But you'll get to see what's possible for your business. If that sounds interesting, comment below or go to Mediace Marketing and let's schedule it. Let's see what's hiding in plain sight. Because here's the thing. Mike and Jennifer had no idea, and neither do you, until someone shows you. Thanks for watching. I'm Ryan Hurst. See you in the next one.